If you ever wondered what Danielle Smith and the UCP think about the disability community, hang on. We all remember how Danielle Smith and the UCP aren't going to allow AISH recipients to get the Canada Disability Benefit. I mean, they will. They'll take the money from the feds. But the AISH recipients aren't going to get that extra $200. It's what we like to call a clawback. They're sending letters out to AISH recipients telling them they have to apply for that benefit, or else there could be consequences. Even though the government is going to take that $200 back. So yes, taking money from the feds to keep it. These are the letters that AISH recipients are getting. And so in order to apply for it, you're likely going to need a medical report from your doctor. And if your doctor charges you for a medical report so you can apply for a benefit, be approved, only to have the UCP take it from you, that's on you. You're going to have to come up with the money to pay for that report. Oh, they're telling people, don't worry, the feds will pay for it. How? But that's not the worst part. I mean, it's pretty bad, but it's not the worst part. Because AISH recipients living in community housing are now going to get a $200 rent increase. $200. If only something were available to help people with a $200 rent increase. Oh, there is. But the UCP's pocketing that. Now, the reason for the change is to create a standardized approach to rent setting that is fair for all tenants. How? And the UCP just kind of swept it through. Orders in council in May and June. So whereas AISH recipients who make $1,901 used to pay $349 a month, now it's going up to $570. Because Alberta, they used to have a $735 exemption, which means the rent was calculated based on that exemption. But Jason Nixon said, fuck you all. We're getting rid of that. The exemption helped because AISH recipients pay 30% towards rent. Without the exemption, they're paying more in rent. Your child tax and your Alberta child benefit is also going to be considered income. That's fun. Savita, a social housing provider in Edmonton, is on board. They're going to be applying it. When I look at their website, they have a long history of providing affordable housing options for Edmonton families. Okay. Now I know the UCP is going to say, don't you worry. People in Alberta get far more money than any other province for disability benefit. And? That's your rationale? They get more than other disabled people in other provinces who are living below the poverty line, so it's okay for our people to live below the poverty line. Forget the fact that we have no rent caps, the highest car insurance if you're lucky enough to have a vehicle. You pay a lot for things like electricity. Man. That $200 that could have helped people, I don't know, get food. Maybe a little treat every once in a while. They don't deserve that, do they? Not according to the UCP. So not only does the UCP not care about the disabled community in Alberta, they are allowing rent to go up. Not the benefit, the rent. And I don't want to hear, oh, but we subsidize medicine and we subsidize programs. It's still not good enough. But moreover, they're just fine taking federal money that the federal government decided, although it ain't great, but they decided it was needed to help subsidize people on disability benefits. And $200 may not be a lot to me, but it sure is a lot to other people. So we'll take that federal money, thank you very much, Ottawa, and we'll just put it in our pocket. Kind of like what they did with the COVID money. Again, Alberta's great at taking federal money while telling Ottawa to stay out of our business. But they're not great at giving it back to you. They just make up concessions by orders in council. So if you have not applied for the Canada Disability Benefit, you need to get on that. Because again, there'll be consequences. And if you're upset about it or you need help, you need to contact your MLA loudly and often because there's not a lot of time. And with that and the rent increases, 2025 is not going to be a good year for the disability community in Alberta. Not that it's ever a good year, but this is exceptional. If you are on AISH, apparently they've sent you a letter. Make sure you've got that letter. And if you don't, be prepared to sit on the phone for a long time trying to get through to them. And remember to thank Danny and Jason Nixon for not valuing people with disabilities and basically punching down. You have a voice. You need to use your voice. And remember, next time there's an election, make your feelings heard. Keeping federal money. The hypocrisy.